be on your raspberry.
Here it is.
Bringing drugs, they're bringing crime.
Do I look organized to you?
You're in the way. I'm just trying to bug Rob. Wait, I hope I heard that.
Yeah. Wait, you're awesome.
Are you doing the podcast?
Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome to Nothing Yet Live. I'm Jay Tyler.
Hi, I'm Tracy.
So today we're going to talk about some stuff and things. I have a bunch of stuff to talk about. Starting with Fox News is eating itself, which has been fun to watch.
Yeah.
The news guys versus the political.
The crazy people.
Well, just the op-ed guys,
Right?
Where they don't tell the truth.
The fake news guys.
Yeah, the actual fake.
Yeah,
news
the
guys.
real fake news.
Yeah, and apparently bargaining from a position of weakness is something that we're doing in Asia.
Sounds like a plan.
Honestly, she wanted to talk about things and stuff instead of stuff and things. Oh, it's going to be a subdued show because that's how it is. You want to start off?
It's a mellow week.
Yeah. And we're trying not to talk about we're going to go more international today. I think a little bit, right?
Sure, whatever.
I mean, that's the way I've sort of led the show.
This is about the U.S. withdrawing its troops from Afghanistan and Iraq.
People, I believe the word was alarmed.
Yeah.
So people are alarmed that we're moving out of Afghanistan and
Senior
Iraq.
Republicans and U.S. allies have voiced alarm at the announcement that American troops will be removed from Afghanistan and Iraq.
Yep.
The U.S. is to withdraw 2,500 troops from both countries by mid-January, the U.S. Department of Defense confirmed. Mr. Donald Trump has long called for troops to come home and has criticized U.S. interventions abroad.
Meanwhile, the head of
unless it suits him.
Right, of course. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just all just
chess.
Stir the pot. Well, just stir the pot.
Actually, Trump doesn't know how to play chess.
No, he flips the board.
Yeah,
is what he's doing. This is him.
He plays marbles.
This is him flipping the board. Yeah.
The head of NATO warned of a very high price. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, not Moscow Mitch, sorry, called the plan a mistake. Mr. McConnell, usually a staunch defender of Mr. Trump, also warned the president against making any earth-shaking changes in regards to defense and foreign policy before leaving the White House.
Before leaving the White House, Mitch McConnell.
Right.
Dude,
that's right, Trump. That means you're out of there.
They are panicking.
Mr. Trump is yet to concede to Democrat Joe Biden, and the cuts are scheduled to take place 5 days before Mr. Biden takes office on January 20th. Yeah.
Yeah.
Personally, I think this has to do with the arms deal that we, to the Saudis we did the other day. I think Trump probably pocketed a bunch of cash from that deal and is going to get our troops out of there as fast as he can, so the Saudis can take over the oil there.
He's
That's my prediction.
He's destabilizing the whole region.
Right.
He's
that is my prediction, and we will see. I'm probably wrong. Yeah. I usually am, but you never know. Hey,
sorry.
Go on.
Oh, I was just to say, in Iraq, the number of U.S. troops will be cut by 500 to 2,500. It doesn't seem like we have a lot of people there. It kind of seems like we were on our way out anyway. But
after how many years have we been there? It seems
20.
like a rushing out of there might not be the wisest thing.
Well, we've been pulling out of there for a while, but it literally hasn't even been on anybody's radar because with COVID and the Trumpscapades.
Well, the Pentagon says consultations were made. Acting U.S. Defense Secretary Chris Miller, who was installed last week as one of Trump's lackeys after firing Mark Esper.
Does it actually say lackey?
No, I said that. Said the move reflected the president's policy to bring the wars in Afghanistan and Iraq to a successful and responsible conclusion and to bring our brave service members home. Bullshit.
Yeah.
Trump always has an agenda. It's always about how he will benefit. I don't buy any of that bullshit. He's not doing anything for anybody but himself.
And of course, we got to think about the kids, right?
Right.
We got to think about the kids. So we will protect our children from the heavy burden and toll of perpetual war, and we will honor the sacrifices made in the services of peace and stability in Afghanistan, Iraq, and around the world, he said. Well, you know what? It worked out really well. I mean, right?
Sure.
Worked out great.
For him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just...
Never mind that we are the Saudis
involved.
and the Saudis bomb Yemen and kill innocent women and children, whatever. He did not confirm if the drawdown plan had been endorsed by General Mark Milley, chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, but said the decision followed continuous engagement with the president's national security cabinet.
I don't think the dude
I'm
has.
sorry, does he have a
I was
cabinet?
gonna say, I
The skeleton crew.
think he has a
More
cabinet.
lackeys, that is. Until Mr. Esper's removal,
Definitely
definitely
disability.
Yeah. Until Mr. Esper's removal, the Pentagon had said the Taliban had not met pledges to reduce violence, which has soared since the militants began peace talks with the Afghan government in September.
Yeah, I mean, it's been so under my radar. Like I've
That's the way they want it.
We've been talking about that for a while now, where it's just been like, where is the international news?
Well, and Mr. Miller said the U.S. had met its goal of defeating extremists and helping partners and allies to take the lead in the fight. U.S. officials said the withdrawal plans had yet to be hammered out in detail, and it was not yet clear which troops would be pulled out. Gee, shocking. Afghan President Ashraf Ghani's spokesman, I think I went through that one pretty well, said he and Mr. Miller had spoken over the phone about continued meaningful U.S. military support to the Afghan security and defense forces.
What does that mean? Selling them weapons?
No, why would we?
Well, I mean, it says, like you said, withdrawal plans have yet to be hammered out.
Right, which means there is no
There's
plan,
nothing.
and Trump is just going to pull out like he does a porn
It's nothing.
star.
It's nothing.
You know, he'll
like-
pull like he pulls out of porn stars.
Have you got your vaccination yet? No. That means you got nothing.
Might want to go get tested for the clap too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. just-
Shortly after the announcement, several rockets were fired into the green zone in Baghdad and
Yeah.
landed near the U.S. embassy. It is the first such attack since Iraqi militias linked to Iran agreed to stop targeting the embassy compound
Yeah, I
last month.
got it right here.
And the Iraqi
Look at this
military
shit.
said an Iraqi child was killed in 5 civilians. There it is.
So why are like, this is what's going on right now? Sounds very peaceful.
Read that.
What? Which one? That right
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
Under the U.S. Taliban.
No.
Oh, President Trump is.
Yeah.
Threw up in my mouth a little bit
Yeah.
there.
It's not president.
Soon to be former. Thing,
Civilian,
Trump,
soon to be con.
Yes. Trump has been determined to withdraw troops from Afghanistan, where there were even fears that he might try to recall the remaining forces before Joe Biden assumes office. Well, yeah, of course. Why not just throw just sand in your fucking face while he's at
Scorch
it?
and burn, baby. Scorch and
Yeah,
burn.
so before he takes office, that hasn't happened, but the cut in troop numbers will leverage Biden administration will have over the Taliban.
Way to go,
Collect this.
Donald.
Collect this.
Under the U.S. Taliban agreement signed in February, all U.S. forces will be withdrawn by May of 2021, but in theory, only if the Taliban fulfill certain conditions, and those don't seem to have been met yet.
So you know what that means? You know what that is?
Bullshit.
It's nothing.
Talks between the Taliban and Afghan officials have finally begun, but progress has been slow and violence has been intensifying. Meanwhile, many in the intelligence community still have concerns over the Taliban's continuing links with Al Qaeda.
Yeah, Biden has also signaled his intent to eventually withdraw forces, but the expectation is that he may be willing to proceed more slowly and place the Talibander under greater scrutiny. He has also talked of a desire to leave a small counterterrorism force in the country. Of course, we have to have a presence there.
Yeah.
It's just sort of.
You can't just pull out like you do a porn star.
You were going to go there.
Oh, I'm sorry. Beat a dead horse.
Yeah, exactly. No, I mean, they like the region is totally fucked up, and it's because like everybody's been arguing over. I don't know. And then we just sold them a whole shit ton of weapons, or Trump did.
The Saudis, yeah. U.S. forces have been in Afghanistan since 2001. So let that sink in, people. That's a long motherfucking time.
Yeah.
A U.S.-led coalition ousted the Taliban weeks after the September 11th, 2001 attacks in the U.S.
Thanks, Anna.
by Al Qaeda, which was then based in Afghanistan. The Taliban regrouped and became an insurgent force that by 2018 was active in more than 2/3 of the country.
Yeah.
The U.S. started withdrawing troops from Afghanistan as part of an agreement signed by the U.S. and the militants in February this year. But violence in the country has increased recently as it groups up its offensives amid stalled negotiations with the Afghan government. thousands of U.S. forces are in Iraq as a part of an international coalition to fight against ISIS, which Trump has claimed we have defeated. Oh, we got rid of ISIS. They're gone.
No, he defeated
Right,
ISIS.
sorry.
Yeah, with the help of the military.
Right. Yeah.
But it was
They're
him.
losers and
He
suckers,
was-
though.
Yeah, he was running with the torch. I got it. I got it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Read the.
this is going to be a big issue.
More will be revealed.
Yeah. God. Okay. All right. So, of course, the whole world is just like going, "Fuck you guys, man! What the fuck is going on here?" And with people like McConnell and several other, several other of the senior Republicans, including some Congress people from Texas, called the move a mistake, saying cutting troop numbers would undercut negotiations currently underway, aiming to bring an end to fighting Afghanistan.
And that's true. I mean, after spending that much time there, we would like to see like the exit strategy successful,
Hey, if we just left them alone, they'd probably just go back to fucking smoking shit all the time.
Dude,
like they do.
The Afghan, you have to realize that the Afghani people have been
They're
at
just like
war with
someone or
someone,
other. Yeah.
their whole, like they're built for that. That's the way
For
they're
thousands.
wired.
I think it's been like
The
1,000
men,
years.
the men wake up, they kiss their wives and kids goodbye in the morning, and they go and they fight whichever dipshit country is
Well, no, a lot of them.
fighting them.
You know what? A lot of them
It's
get up.
the U.S., it's the Soviets.
Most of them
whoever.
get up in the
soon to be the Saudis.
No, most of them get up in the morning and they go harvest their crops and they tend their sheep.
And
But if you know what, if you rolled up into my neighborhood with a bunch of heavily armed dudes, you might shoot some of them. Yeah.
sure,
It's like, why do you think cops are so afraid to go into like they don't want to go into?
because they're fucking
Because they're
pussies.
scared and they shoot first and ask.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, of course. Here comes Ben's ass.
Yeah.
Senate, who sits on the Senate Intelligence Committee, said it was a weak retreat and that it was not grounded in reality and will make the world a more dangerous
Well,
place.
there we go. That sums it up perfectly for Trump. That's the
way
Trump
to go,
strategy.
way to go, Captain fucking Obvious.
Yeah.
Right?
Way to go, fucking.
And then we got some NATO Secretary General, whatever that means, Stoltenberg, in a rare public show of concern, said the high price of leaving too soon or in an uncoordinated way could be very high. In a statement, he added that Afghanistan risks once again becoming a platform for international militants to organize attacks. You know what? If we just fucking left them alone, like this shit would have been over a long
Well,
fucking time.
we don't need to like rehash, 9/11, but I think it was, it's, fact now that it wasn't Iraq or Saddam Hussein with weapons of mass destruction. They had nothing to do with 9/11. It was the Saudis. And who are the Saudis? Well, they're our buddies. Every presidency always is in bed with them, and
well, they can
we
do
continue to sell arms to them.
they can do a lot of
And
damage.
we will, and Biden will probably too. Never mind the atrocity of what they're doing in Yemen and what they're about to do in Afghanistan.
Hey, you know what? Put it on Trump. He fucking
And let's
Spent-
not forget the reporter that they slaughtered,
which one?
Khashoggi.
Oh yeah, no, that's
Yeah, never mind that.
Well, they live by a different set of rules. Like they love to come here. Like the Saudi princes, they come here.
Yeah.
And they just fucking
Yeah.
just are
They're
like-
high rollers. They go,
Yeah,
It's like they're going
and then
to
they fuck
Vegas.
shit up and then they leave and they don't care.
yeah. Don't give a
But it's fine.
fuck.
But you know what? It's no different than say Led Zeppelin. They would go in and fuck up hotel rooms too.
Well, that's a little bit different.
No,
but
I don't
okay.
think so. I don't think it's much different.
All right.
Except that they can just
Except
they
for they
can
didn't
actually
kill people.
well, they can't necessarily kill people.
Yeah. they
I
can.
did a whole thing on that the other day. They can't actually it's hard for them to get away with murder, but a lot of other shit
What,
they
what are
can
you
get
talking
away
about?
with
They murdered our journalist and got away with it.
in their country.
No, it was in Turkey. It was in the Turkish embassy.
But I mean, it wasn't here. If they'd done some shit.
Still.
I know, but I'm saying that like I said, the rules don't apply to them.
Yeah, apparently.
Like the rules don't apply to Trump. Apparently,
or that
opposed-
dipshit either.
Yeah. So a fast, I mean, of course, you're gonna leave a fucking power vacuum, and somebody's gonna fucking fill it in.
Yep.
With just whatever. It doesn't
So-
matter. Hey, we went over there and we fucking destroyed their entire country. We killed like fucking millions of them.
Not to mention lost a bunch of our own.
Polluted their environment, and then
Well-
we're like, peace.
Yeah, right. Good one. Good facial expression. Yeah, we'll keep our eyes on this story because I'm sure this is not.
Oh, no,
over.
we've just
not even.
we've been
close.
distracted by that.
Yeah.
Right? So we've been on a constant downturn, from 400,000 to 200,000, and then Trump.
Well, sure.
So we went from 400,000 from 2008 to
It's a little under
to 2017. Now Trump enters the White House, and it doesn't go down, but what,
a
20,000?
little bit, yeah.
Yeah, it goes down a little bit. So we went from 400,000.
But he wants the credit for ending the war in the Middle East.
Yeah, pulling our
And let's not forget Jared Kushner has been in charge of that.
pulling our brave men and women.
Who's going to handle peace in the Middle East? Oh, Jared Kushner.
Oh yeah.
Why? Oh, great. Wise choice. He's so qualified.
No.
That's my sarcastic face.
Yeah. Well, he's
Anyway,
oh
I think
my God.
we
beat
pretty
that
much done
that story
Yeah.
down. But hey, look out for Afghanistan. Also, by the way, Afghanistan has like one of the largest reserves of lithium
And
in the world.
heroin.
But
Where do
lithium.
you think our fucking heroin comes
I'm not
from?
talking about the drug lithium. I'm talking about the metal.
Okay.
The metal lithium is what makes your fucking
Right,
phone work.
right.
And it's what makes the computers work.
Sure.
It's the batteries.
But they
right?
also happen to be the biggest supplier of
Yeah, I mean, whatever.
for big pharma, not just
Opium.
just not
Opium,
the,
yeah.
not just the black market, but for big pharma. That's
I don't
where-
see them selling
to
a
make
ton
the
of it here.
Vicodin and the Oxycontin.
We'd probably get our heroin from South America.
no, a lot of it comes from Afghanistan. Pharma opiates.
Okay, back to and China bargaining from a fucking position of weakness, right? Like we're in this position
That's
now where
Trump's jam.
yeah, right, fucking snatching victory from the jaws of defeat, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or snatching defeat from the jaws.
Sure.
Let's go with the Fox News is eating itself. I've
Yes,
been dying to
please
see this
do.
one. This was funny. I saw this today and I thought it was very clever. Let's see. What are you doing, buddy?
Chris, to be winning even as he is losing in the current vote count, because for his diehard fans, he is trying to make the case that he didn't really lose the election, that it was taken from him. Is that an argument that he can credibly make?
Nope.
No.
Well, not in terms of the numbers, at least so far, unless we see something from these lawsuits that we
Oh,
haven't
come
seen
on,
so
Chris.
far, which is serious fraud and fraud of a dimension that it would actually overturn the results. He's not losing these states, for instance, Pennsylvania by 500 votes, like Florida in 2000. He's losing it by 40 or 50,000 votes. So unless we see fraud
Pack
of
your
that
bags,
dimension,
Trump.
I don't know that he can credibly say that the election has been taken from him, but that doesn't mean he won't continue to make the argument. And as we know, Donald Trump got more votes than any person in history running for president this year, except for Joe Biden.
Except for Joe
this year.
Biden,
So,
Chris.
there are tens of millions of people who love this president, who are in the Trump base.
And they're all
Okay, so
stupid.
it's funny when he asked him that question. He's like, does he think or whatever? And you can see Chris Wallace just roll his eyes.
Yeah. It's like, here we go.
If you watch that clip, there's one
Yeah.
point where he just rolls his eyes.
He just looks tired of it all. He's
No,
aged.
and they're eating each other. I
Yeah.
love it. You've got basically the guys that are actually news guys. This guy,
Thank you,
Chris
Anna.
Wallace.
From a 2008 journal article, around 90% of the world's opium comes from Afghanistan, and most of it is designed for the illicit market. Destined. Whatever.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But not here.
Yes, it comes here.
You're telling me we get
It
90%.
the world's opium. We are part of the world. It comes. We get stuff. Yes. We also.
No, I know it's good for we make medicine out of it.
And
But
the
I mean,
illicit market is the black market. So
right? But I mean, I don't see a lot of Afghani heroin running around the
that's
U.S.
because.
countryside.
Yeah. Well,
I imagine
that's
it
because
comes-
you don't know of such things.
Probably
okay?
comes from
And because the West Coast
probably
is
comes from
controlled
Canada.
by black tar heroin, which comes from Mexico. The white heroin, which is from Afghanistan, is from Chicago to the East Coast.
Oh, okay.
It's split down the middle by cartels.
So in
I'll
case
tell
you
about
guys,
it later.
yeah, in case you guys want to know where to get some,
The world's opium, exactly, Tracy. Thank you, Anna. I love it when I'm right.
but not heroin. I'm talking about heroin, not opium.
It's made from that, though.
But I mean, opium can be used for everything from morphine to
Sure,
all kinds of-
Vicodin,
Yeah,
hydrocodone,
exactly.
whatever.
So,
But she said illicit market, meaning black market.
I wouldn't argue with Tracy.
I wouldn't argue with Anna.
You know what? You kiss my ass.
Don't argue with me either.
Okay, so yeah, Fox News is eating itself, and it's giving me a thing. So bargaining
Giving you a
from
boner?
bargaining from a position of weakness is Trump's jam. And after what he fucking did to China, speaking of fucking metals, right? Since they formed this like trade bloc, right?
Excluding us.
America's security and economy increasingly depends on exotic metals and minerals that will go into high-tech manufacturing for batteries that will be crucial
To Biden's.
to Biden's climate change, to the high power magnets needed for the Pentagon's guided missiles. We need it for everything. And they're largely controlled by who?
China, of course.
Right. And China just made a big block of
And it
people.
was a big fuck you to the U.S. Probably because, I don't know, Trump's tariffs and Trump's blaming them for the Kung flu and the China virus.
Well, now we want it. Now the we're like, the Republicans are like, let's tear up the countryside getting this shit, right? So Beijing has a near monopoly on the world's critical metal and minerals, is raising concerns about America's vulnerability at a time of rising tensions with China. According to the interview, Politico, hold on, I gotta be over here. I'm not done yet.
I know, sorry.
Politico's global translations. The U.S. imports more than 80% of its supply of rare earth minerals from China.
Slow down.
That's what's in here. That's what's in here.
Your handheld supercomputer.
Is full of stuff from China
Yeah.
that we don't want to mine here because it's filthy. It like we could mine it here, but it's the chemicals used in the mining process and the processing of it to make it into useful materials is incredibly fucking toxic. That's why we want to leave it over there on the other side of the earth. Go ahead and pull, so now they're just like, oh, okay, like we're gonna be all Green New Deal with our people and we'll keep our shit to ourselves and a handful of other countries. The military relies on semiconductors, smartphones. The military relies on them too for the production of everything: from jet engines to night vision goggles, to control systems of said cruise missiles. In response to an executive order from President Trump, in the 2018 Interior Department identified 35 mineral commodities deemed critical, basically, to American security and economic prosperity. Dude, basically, they're just like they're pulling the purse strings now, man. And it creates a strategic vulnerability for us, and that's a fucking issue. They're saying, like, it's imperative we secure. This scares me. It's imperative to secure raw commodities from around the world. You know what? Almost every war has been disguised as some war or another, but it's usually almost always a resource war, right? And
Mhm.
right now we're chasing after these things. The U.S. So the U.S. government is looking to collaborate. So this is a kicker. We're like, oh, well, we'll just collaborate with Australia, and Australia's like, we're with the Chinese.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, China cinched up all that shit.
Cold shoulder. We're getting
So
cold shoulder.
Australia and Canada are helping to develop supply chains.
Maybe that's because we've alienated our allies for the last 4 years.
Whoops. So now they're like, oh, we got to improve our production of minerals at home, and it's a lot of jobs. But and it says, I think we could do it in a way that is innovative and clean, in a way that China never would. You know what? No, it's not, dude. You think U.S. corporations are any cleaner than
Nope.
Chinese corporations?
Absolutely not.
They just say, look at me. I'm a nice guy. I'm gonna give you guys a bunch of jobs, and then I'm
Yeah.
gonna ruin the fucking countryside so we can have.
do as I say, not
So
as
I can sell
do.
you a goddamn new cell phone, right?
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, that's what I got for China, man. You want to go with yours?
Sure. Back over. Nope. Okay. Judge blocks border officials from expelling unaccompanied migrant children. Back to immigration, which has been a disgrace during the Trump era. Move that. What is that in my way?
Just
Thank you. A federal judge in D.C. ordered the Trump administration on Wednesday to stop the expulsion of migrant children who cross the border alone, a policy enabled by a March emergency order by the Centers for the CDC because of the coronavirus pandemic. Why it matters? Well, as of September, nearly 9,000 unaccompanied migrant children have been expelled because of the CDC order. What
Okay.
they're saying, today's ruling is a critical step in halting the Trump administration's unprecedented and illegal attempt to expel children under the thin guise of public health. ACLU's Lee Gellhern, the lead attorney in the case, said in a statement, the administration's order has already allowed for the rapid expulsion of more than
Wow.
13,000 children
Rapid expulsion.
in need of protection who are legally entitled to apply for asylum.
Are they going to fire them over the border wall with a catapult?
The
Is
big
that their
picture,
plan?
thousands of migrant children, families, and adults from different countries have been sent to Mexico, at times violating a diplomatic agreement with Mexico, the New York Times' Caitlin Dickerson reported.
No, if they get here, Mexico can refuse them.
Well, more than 197,000 migrants have been quickly expelled after reaching the border because of the CDC's emergency order. Before the march, unaccompanied migrant minors were required to be put in the care of the Office of Refugee Resettlement, which oversees a network of child migrant shelters and seeks to release migrant children to family members or other sponsors who are already in the U.S.
Or into the wild.
Yeah,
Really,
right.
what are you doing?
I was trying to scroll down.
By touching buttons?
Well, why were you
I was there. I don't know where you were going.
Whatever. Fuck it. You finished the article. Never mind.
You were
Because clearly I can't handle scrolling my own article.
well,
You got this.
you touched a button.
You got this. Well, it wasn't there. You said it would be there. You had
It
moved
was
it.
sitting right there. Look.
Mhm.
Oh, you
Go
touched
for it. This is all you.
Okay. Go
You do.
deeper.
Go for it. I no longer care.
You're such a shit sometimes. No, that was the end of the show. I mean, the end of the story.
Cool. Well,
So
who gives
No.
a fuck about the Mexican kids anyway? We put them in cages. We separate them. We don't fucking bother to keep track of them. We deport their parents. Who knows? They're probably all sold off into the sex.
I want to
you
know
know.
what rapid expulsion means. What is it?
I
It
don't
says
know.
mouth cooking.
I don't know. Maybe I ought to look that up in the dictionary.
Rapid expulsion. They're gonna fire them over Trump's big beautiful wall with a cannon, send them back to where they came from. So speaking of Australia, after
Where were we?
yeah, we
I
were
don't
because we were talking about China and how Australia and Canada are just like
Sure,
have a
right.
nice day, America.
I forgot.
Have a
Must
nice
slept through
day,
that.
United States. So they announced a strict 6-day lockdown to take effect. Hey, by the way, Hazel, I don't know what's going on with that. A 6-day lockdown to take effect from midnight Wednesday in order to curb the spread of COVID-19. Apparently, they got a whopping 36 cases, and they're just like, fuck it, let's shut everything down. Meanwhile, we get like tens of thousands of cases a day. Good X amount of deaths.
What are you talking about?
Southern Australia, remember they had 36 cases, so they just like shut the place
Oh,
down.
yeah.
There's, I mean, at least that area.
I'm going to stay away from criticizing other countries that have much lower cases than the United States.
Well, no, I mean, and even some of them are like, well, maybe it's a little extreme, but fuck it, because 6 days, right? If this stuff can be caught, incubated, and then spread within 6 days without showing any symptoms, was it COVID-19 cases who were exposed to the first generation cases, but not patient zero, while the third generation are those infected by the second generation, but not the prior generations, and so
What
on.
the fuck does any of that even mean?
Um,
Could you please? I'd like to hear that in
meaning
English.
you get it. You're the first generation.
I'm not
then I
patient
get
zero.
it. Then I would be no. I'm saying without being. So if you got it, then I'd be second generation, and then if I gave it to Anna, she'd be the third generation.
Right.
This particular
And so on and so forth.
yeah. So it's just because this particular strain is so virulent and so active. It's taking less or 24 hours, even less, for that person to become infectious to others. So if you get it 24 hours later, you can be infectious, and of course you're not going to show any symptoms or minimal symptoms before they pass it on. So
Way to
basically
go,
they're just like
Nibbles.
36 cases, and they're like, shut it down. Meanwhile, we're still arguing over whether or not to shut it down when we're like making record cases every damn
Yeah,
day.
I don't really care anymore.
Yeah. Okay. Well, neither do I then. Rapid expulsion. It's what happens when you watch the mouth cooking video show.
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
It's
Don't care.
good God. Okay. Hey everybody. I guess that's it for the show. We're out of here. Okay.